Hi everyone. Well, I just want to bring to your attention what we're about to lose here. Almost every single tree in this area is scheduled to be cut down sometime soon, probably around 99% of them. And the reason for this is that there's a development going in, and this is the way they've planned the development. Now, here's some shots of the kinds of animals that use these kind of trees at the moment. And yes, I did film these in different locations, but I can guarantee you that if I was given access to this property and enough time, I'd be able to film exactly the same species in here. And what the plan is to do here is, first of all, they're going to turn it into this, basically a scorched earth. And then they're going to turn it into this, where all the houses are crammed up together. Now, yay progress, right? Now, my understanding of this is that the reason why this happens is that the advice from the engineers is that the large trees will suck up moisture, which will destabilise the ground and will then require piers to be put in underneath the slabs, which add to the cost of the houses by over $30,000. Now, I don't really understand that, because it certainly doesn't seem to be a problem over here in the older part of Highfields, where the original houses were built amongst the big trees. Now, whether or not that's even necessary, I have no idea. But even if it is necessary, why don't we do this instead? Okay, this development is being put together by one of the richest men in Australia, Clive Berghofer, and his company Jetheld. Now, I've approached them 3 times for a meeting, and initially I was told that would be possible. Now they don't even return my emails, so they're obviously not interested. But Clive, you pride yourself on your generosity, so why don't you do this, okay? There's a large area over that way that's already cleared, because this is ex-farmland. Why don't you put in a whole lot of high density houses in there, because there's no trees there. You don't have to worry about that. The price will be kept down there. And then why don't you keep all of these trees here and either put down those piers on the slabs, or have the builders put down the piers on those slabs, or just only put a few houses in so they're enough distance away from the trees. Now, it is definitely a seller's market at the moment. Everyone knows that as far as houses go in Australia. You would have no problem selling houses in that situation as you would down here for the people who can only afford less in the area that's already cleared. So why don't you redesign the whole project like that? Keep these mature trees there. You pride yourself on your generosity. You have a great opportunity here to show how generous you are by actually doing something for the community that is going to last generations and generations. We love the environment around here. It's critical for our own survival and critical for our quality of life, as well as that of the animals that I was showing before, and all sorts of animals. There was a little redback fairy wren on that fence just before I started filming this. What do you think the future of that's going to be, and all the other small animals, okay? You've got to think bigger than what you're doing now, and you can certainly afford to do that as well. So, to members of the public who's pretty incensed at this, please keep the pressure up on the developers, on the engineers and on the builders, and keep the pressure up on the council. This never would have happened if we had that TLPI back in 2022, which could have brought in temporary restrictions on tree clearing. And we're looking at a new planning scheme coming out in a few months. Keep an eye on that, and if it doesn't have tree protections in it, then pressure the council and get it to be done. Because other councils in southeast Queensland do, we don't. It's just an embarrassment. We're so far behind the times, and we're losing stuff that we value. And it doesn't matter if you propose an offset. These trees here are a couple of 100 years old. Okay, some cavity nesting birds will only nest in trees that are this size. You know, plant all the little suckers that you like everywhere else, but don't try and tell us that you're actually replacing what's lost here. You've definitely got the opportunity here, Clive Berghofer and Jetheld, to do better than you're doing now, and so for the sake of future generations and our community, I ask that you do that. And here's another option which I've only just thought of. Why not build the houses up on adjustable stumps like you have to do out in the black soil country? That way it doesn't matter if the earth moves at all, you can always keep the house level. Point is that those trees can be saved by the developers and the builders and the engineers if they really want to. But those trees are irreplaceable and they really need to be saved. We're way past the point where we think we can just cut anything down and there's heaps of it left and it doesn't matter. So please, there's lots of different ways to approach this. You don't have to do it the way you are doing it. Find a way to do it that is going to preserve those trees there as well, because frankly it's pathetic to suggest that there's no other alternative. There are lots of alternatives, and that's what needs to get done.